Welcome to Coffin Chronicles.
I'm Nix,
And I'm Ja.
and this is where we unearth stories about true crime, mysteries, and paranormal events that happen right here in the Philippines.
All while doing our makeup. So if these are the topics that interest you, go check out our previous videos.
And for tonight, I'll be the one to tell you an interesting story. So let's get right into it. So tonight's story is about Lucila Lalu. She was born in the 1930s. Not sure if this is super accurate, but I just based it on the timeline that I had while I was reading through the story. Anyway, so she was born in the 1930s in a small town in the Philippines called Candaba, Pampanga. Only had about 20 to 28,000 people during her time. So in her late 20s, she decided that she wanted to try her luck in Manila and be a career woman. So she moved out of the province and then got a job as a waitress in this small bar. Apparently she was, really good at managing her earnings because eventually from all of the money that she made waitressing, she had enough to start her own business. And then she had one salon. It was called Lucy's House of Beauty, and it was in Mahaligya Street, Santa Cruz, Manila. And then the other one is called the Pagoda Soda Fountain. It still gets me. It never gets old. So it's called the Pagoda Soda Fountain, and it's a restaurant and nightclub, also in Santa Cruz, Manila.
Grabe, ang successful niya, dalawang business agad.
Yeah, well, kung 1930 siya pinanganak, and then mga 1960s na siguro, she had like
30
years, yeah. Yeah, girl. How? Sobrang successful niya, and sobrang galing niya mag-manage ng pera niya. Not sure if the places are still open, or like if it's with her family still.
Sana yung pagoda.
I hope they are, because it would be cool kung makapunta tayo.
After all this.
Yeah. So while she was in Manila, she met a man named Aniano de Vera. Well, he was a policeman, and at that time that they met, he was already married. I couldn't find much detail about his first marriage. Baka naman they weren't doing so well and decided to divorce na rin naman or something.
Anal, wala pang divorce sa Philippines.
Oh, right. Magpaanal or whatever. But basically, yeah, he was legally married to someone else when they met. But that didn't stop the two of them because, eventually they started living together in a common law marriage, which means, they didn't get married legally in courts or churches, but they just lived together. Yes. So eventually, their marriage was blessed with a son. And her businesses were booming, and she's juggling all of that, being a wife, being a mother, all of these roles, and also a businesswoman. So life was going well for her. One day in 1967, Lucila just disappeared.
Out of the blue,
out of nowhere, she just disappeared. And then initially, there wasn't any mention in the news or any reports that I read that her family, they didn't file a missing reports case agad.
Why?
Speculation is that they didn't do this because she was known to have a lot of lovers, and they initially thought that she was just going incognito, just spending some time with them, and they didn't want to meddle in her business.
She is one busy girl.
Yep, she's one heck of a woman. How
galing niya mag-manage ng lahat is all I'm saying.
If she has a husband and lovers and businesses and sons, she knows how to manage her time really well.
Yeah.
So on May 28th, a garbage collector, he found human remains inside a garbage can along Malabon Street, not too far away from the Pagoda Soda Fountain restaurant. So Lucila's restaurant.
Ooh, fishy.
Sketch, right? So he quickly alerted the police, of course, and then showed them where he found them and so on. And then upon closer investigation of the police, they found a pair of women's legs that were cleanly cut into 4 pieces and wrapped in newspaper. So the parts that they found, right, when they were doing the closer inspections, touching it and moving it around and so on, they felt that it was cold to the touch, almost like it came from a freezer. They also noted that the toes, they were well pedicured, and it looked like it came from a person from an affluent family. So on, basta yung alam mo, she had time to take care of herself. This is a side note. So the police compared the newly found pieces of that body with other body parts found in Metro Manila, but the decomposition of the body didn't match any other body parts. So there were more body parts like just around Manila at the time. I don't know why. Point here is that they didn't find a match, so now they're still stuck with these 4 pieces and didn't get the link to anyone else. So about a day later, they find this woman's torso with the arms still attached. I believe it's just like, neck down up to waist with arm. And then they found this in a vacant lot along EDSA, Guadalupe. Feeling ko sobrang tagal na may bad rep yung Guadalupe area.
Bakit dati rin ba? Merong...
Hindi, parang ever since like moving to the Philippines, parang yung unang ko narinig palagi, like when going to Manila like
ingat sa Guadalupe. Oo.
Guadalupe. So the parts that they found yung near Guadalupe Bridge, they were also wrapped in newspaper. This time naman it was dated May 23. So some reports revealed that Lucila was allegedly 1 month pregnant at the time of her death. But
oh no.
Parang I haven't seen any like further confirmation that was really the case, like when they found the torso. So because they had the torso, with the hands, the arms still attached, they did the fingerprint scan and they found that this is confirmed. It is Lucila. So that is her. That's her body. And they tied it to the legs then. But like at this point, right, remember, they only found the legs and the torso. There was still no sign of where the killer might have dumped her head. So, of course, like while doing the investigation, they're still looking at Lucila's body, trying to find any clues as to who this person might be, maybe like trace evidence. But so far, what they did notice is that whoever killed Lucila was very skilled with a knife. So either a butcher, a doctor, I don't know what else, mainly those two, because like the cuts on her body were very clean and expertly cut. And also, kasi diba kanina parang I mentioned na medyo cold yung body part, I think they were sort of leaning towards butcher.
Kasi may freezer.
Kasi may freezer. Like whoever that person was could have had access to a van with a freezer or something like that. And being able to dump these parts like at random places on the street without being called out or without being seen, diba? Parang
like it's not weird.
Yeah. Now you're just having frozen body parts in your arms. So at this point, still no clues other than the things that I just mentioned. And the police are getting desperate. So they try to find out more information about Lucila by looking at the people like closest to her during this time. So other than her husband, Aniano, it was mentioned that she had allegedly had several lovers during her lifetime. And some of them weren't named in the reports, but I do have some names here. So, of course, the police, they start bringing those people into questioning. Starting first was this guy named Florante. He was a 19-year-old waiter at the Pagoda.
Oh, okay, employee niya.
Yes. So it was already pretty common knowledge that, they had a thing going on, and that Lucila was supporting him in some way. When the police brought him in for questioning, his alibi checked out. Because during that night, he said that he was out drinking with his friend. So eventually, the police released him. And also, just like some speculation about this was that, it was unlikely na he was going to do something to Lucila. Kasi nga naman, like, she's supporting him.
Sabagay. So she would want that cut off.
Exactly. Parang there was no evidence so far that he would have any desire to kill her. Why would he cut off his, I would say, like, life support?
Did they mention how old he was?
19.
Oh. Tapos at this time, how old is Lucila?
I'm guessing 30 plus. I don't know her exact date of birth, but because she was born around the 30s. This happened around the 60s, going to 70s.
Oh, right.
So I would say she was pushing 40. So more on Florante. So there were also other reports that said that they rented a love nest in Cubao where, they could safely meet each other. So again, even more reason, like, sisweldohan ka na sa restaurant. Then of course, for sure, there are other maybe possible gifts or other support financially coming from Lucila. And now
Right.
he also has a place. So why would he kill her, right? But the cashier at the pagoda, again, this one is alleged, as in sabi-sabi. Don't know if this is true or not, but there were claims that from a cashier at pagoda saying that Lucila broke up with Florante.
Oh.
So that might be, that might be a
Okay.
tip, that might be a reason why. But again,
Yeah.
unconfirmed. So she also said that she saw Florante with Lucila at the time, the night that she went missing. She was dragged out of the parlor by Florante and his friends, and then forced into a car. But then this is kind of suspicious because, diba nga, like, she's from the what do you call it? She's from the restaurant. How would she see what's happening dun sa may salon?
Yeah, and I feel like, I think it's too early to say anything, but I feel like kung ganun yung naging situation na hinila siya palabas ng restaurant, tapos sinakay, I think mas maraming makakapag-witness.
Makapansin, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So, the second person they bring into the station is Aniano, Lucila's husband of 7 years. So, at this time, it was said that they were already kind of having problems at home for a while, and that their 6-year-old, their son, was staying with Lucila's mom in Caloocan.
Okay. Parang it's that bad that they can't have the child around them.
Yeah, seems like it. I think this might kind of explain, like, the situation that they were both in, like, in their relationship. Because it was said that Aniano, he was known to have, like, these fits of anger, these jealous spurts. Allegedly, one night they said that Aniano saw Florante and Lucila together in an embrace, after which he mauled Florante because of his jealousy.
Oh,
So,
shit.
ganun katindi yung anger issues niya.
I mean,
But then again, like, knowing that it's his wife, na parang inaano tong kung sino man taong Florante to, diba? Like, which is kind of passable. I don't know. But I would also say not, because it was also reported that there were cases naman daw where he fired his gun inside Lucila's restaurant.
right. Kasi nga pala pulis siya.
Yeah. Before she went missing. So ngayon parang, sige, given na nakakainis nga naman. I mean, like, you saw your wife with someone else, but, and then in a public space pa, but also irresponsible ka because you just fired your issued gun in a public space then, where he could have hurt other people. So that situation was said to happen about like a month before Lucila went missing. So during the interview, it was said that Aniano claimed that he was having dinner, or he had dinner with Lucila at her parlor at around 6:30 that night, but then he left immediately after. And then some witnesses, including some of Lucila's relatives, said na around the time that he left, they even saw her in the salon and that she was sleeping. Yun.
Okay, so two different accounts.
Hindi naman. Parang, they said na parang after Aniana left, they saw her in the salon, like, sleeping. So, siguro after dinner, nag-nap siya or something. But, there's a big but. But this contradicts what Florante said in his interview, or in his testimony, where he said that he and Lucila met each other at around 7:30 that same night in another cocktail lounge, also on like Rizal Ave. Or sorry, not also on Rizal Ave. But then again, like, even if it was on the same street,
Parang
like, napping
sobrang
30 minutes and then
hindi kaya.
with your lover after that, tas magte-travel ka pa, and of course, like, I assume that she'd want to freshen up. Parang sobrang tight naman nung schedule niya.
But then, magaling siya sa management ng time, so...
So the third suspect was a person from a printing press who was allegedly also Lucila's lover. Now they don't name this person, like, he wanted to remain anonymous throughout. Yeah. Pero kasi, it might be because they like
no evidence or something?
Yeah, like, eventually he was dismissed because He was only pulled into the case really, I mean, like, of course, one, suspected as being Lucila's lover, two, as
Right.
the owner of this large printing press. Di ba nga,
Oh,
they
shit,
found
wait.
her
Owner?
executive, maybe not owner.
Okay, but still.
Yeah, of high position, like in this printing press. Ayun, so he was eventually dismissed because he did own Dao. Anyway, he was cleared and he was let go. He had an alibi for the night that Lucila disappeared, so he was just, okay, sure. And then
Okay, sure, whatever.
the fourth and final suspect in Lucila's case was a guy named Jose Luis Santiano. He was 28 years old at that time, and he was also a dentistry student who rented out like one of the rooms in Lucila's beauty parlor. And he was also allegedly one of her lovers. On June 15, 1967, this was about 18 days after the police found Lucila's remains, news broke out that a quote-unquote handsome young man of a retired PC colonel, married and father of 5, confessed in a handwritten statement that he experienced a mental blackout and that he just remembers himself strangling her to death.
It's a little bit suspicious to me. I don't know.
Out of nowhere, he just comes out and confesses bigla. Right?
Mm-hmm. And handwritten pa. So parang...
Well, ito na nga. So in his first testimony, he said that Lucila tried to seduce him, and when he refused, she threatened to create this scandal, and I guess like that's where he just went haywire na parang ayoko na nga eh. And then he also eventually mentioned about chopping up her body and then carrying them in boxes or paper bags and then disposing them in and around Manila and also in Diliman and QC. But, even if they tried looking for her head, or sorry, her head. Yeah, her head. Like, they never found it, even with the lead from Jose.
That's why it's suspicious to me. Yeah. So I'm skipping on my lips kasi if you guys can see, it's busted. So, para lang hindi siya ma-irritate, I'm just not gonna put anything on it, except maybe for Vaseline, which I've been doing for a couple of days now.
Keep it hydrated and stuff.
Kaya nga ako natataka kasi I've been drinking a lot of water. Like, a lot of water.
So, because of Jose's confession, this started like the police investigation. So, police later found traces of dried blood under his bed where he said that he kept Lucila's body before he disposed it. Yeah. But a few days later,
I take it back na mukhang suspicious yung pagkakaamin niya.
Well, tonight, parang a few days later, he changed his mind now and he retracted his statement, saying that he wasn't the one that murdered her, but 3 other men did. So, what is it? What is it?
3 other men, pero yung dugo nasa kama pa, sa ilalim ng kama.
Sa ilalim ng kama niya. So when he retracted that, of course, he provided like a news story to the police, and then he said that while the murder happened in the mezzanine of the parlor where his room was, he said that 2 other men killed Lucila while another man held him hostage at gunpoint. Lots of questions like, how the hell did you get into that situation in the first place? I mean, if they wanted Lucila dead, why not just go straight for her and only her?
Yeah, and why keep you alive?
Yeah, why keep you alive? Because if they could murder her, what's another suspect to them, or what's another witness to them, diba?
Right, diba? Witness pa.
Yun. And then eventually, he said a 4th man appeared to him went to him the following morning, planted the evidence, the blood in his room, everything. And then over the next few days, he allegedly received notes reminding him to keep quiet. I mean,
where are the notes though?
I don't know. To add to the weirdness, this is just an allegation. Not sure if it's true or not, but allegedly, a Dr. Nora Ebio said that she was a witness, and testified that Jose was coerced by the police investigator, Sergeant Ildefonso Labao, and forced to confess to a crime that he allegedly did not commit.
Okay.
Not sure how she would have witnessed this whole thing. I mean, like, of course, diba pagka police interviews and stuff, like, they would take you into an interview room, ikaw lang mag-isa,
Right.
actually, unless na they catch both of you at the scene of the crime together.
But even so, like they put at least on based on
most
things that I
common.
watched,
Yeah,
like they put you in a separate room,
right.
even if they catch you together.
Right. But I mean, like, point is, parang, how did she find out this, parang, sabi-sabi lang ni Jose, ganon, right? Is what I'm thinking.
Right.
So, allegedly, authorities claimed or insisted that Jose did it, especially since, they found evidence or like weapons with Lucila's blood on it. For example, like a hammer with blood stains was found in the mezzanine, and then also like a knife, a razor blade, some women's stockings in his room. And then police claimed that Jose was just following his lawyer's recommendation to retract his statement. Pero like the other stuff, like the knife and yada yada, was all in his room. So I'm assuming like after he confessed.
I'm not quite familiar lang din kasi on like the process on how you get a warrant for arrest. Like how soon can you get it? Parang I feel like it's too convenient. Like everything is too convenient na okay, may dugo pa din sa ilalim ng kama niya. Tapos kasi it's weird na you hide the body under your bed.
Yeah,
Especially if you just live alone. Why would you hide?
walang sinabi kasi gano'ng katagal naka-hide yung body doon. Maybe it was just there until he could like chop it up and then dispose it agad or move it to a freezer.
Yeah, but still under the bed is weird for me. And it's too convenient na all the evidences are still in his room. Na parang if let's say, I mean if let's say kung siya talaga yon, he went to the length of chopping the body and disposing it into several different areas. Why not do it with the evidences as well?
Right. Maybe they think like he said na parang, I can clean it naman, like no one will find out about this. Kasi nga, in the medical field, like maybe he knows how to sanitize and clean stuff, but eventually like it's not enough kasi they still found trace evidence or like some evidence.
But for you to have a machete inside your apartment, like that's still
I
a
didn't say
weird.
machete. I said a
you
knife.
didn't?
No. Yeah, no. Other story.
Knife and hammer pala.
Yeah, knife and hammer, razor blade. I mean, it's like pretty usual stuff. This is just added info, but then they said that when Jose was held by the NBI, of course, being investigated and everything, they received the bomb threats to let the murder suspect go. And yeah, eventually they said that he was later found not guilty and then released. Some even say that he might be still alive to this day, maybe, and is living abroad. And without any new leads, of course, officials just moved on to other cases.
Yeah, and they still haven't found her head.
Nope.
But who do you think killed her?
Personally, I'm going, Eto, I was gonna initially say two people, like her husband, Aniano, but then I also want to take it back kasi maybe he isn't capable of doing things like that. But also, what if he hired someone to do it and then plant the evidence sa isa pang lover, which is Jose? I don't know about Jose, parang it's so weird. I can't get the read on it. Parang feeling ko, like I feel like he's lying about something.
But he's not fully telling the truth.
Yeah. Ikaw, what do you think? Like, who do you think did it?
I feel like it's the husband. Kasi
I was gonna say which one. Yeah, the husband.
I feel like it's the husband kasi he works for the police as well. So parang it's easy for him to set up everything. Tapos yun
connections, and then like he knows where to put the evidence, where to hide it even.
Oo, na let's say wala siyang freezer, but obviously connection, so he can just ask people to hide it for him. And then, yun nga yung fits of anger niya na selos. So, baka nalaman niya na, okay, Jose is another one.
Another one. Now you have to deal
So,
with
parang, yun na yung, parang yung nag-trigger na sa kanya na, oh, hindi ko na talaga kaya to. Like, sobrang nagalit na siya. And then, parang, ang nangyari in my head is parang, hindi lang ikaw yung papatayin ko, I'm also gonna bring this guy down. Kasi how dare he? Alam mo yun?
Yeah, screw his life up. For even
kasi
trying
parang,
to sleep with my wife, parang ganun.
I just really, really freaking think na everything was so convenient na, okay, may written testament, merong, may blood sa ilalim ng kama. Like, when you live alone, I imagine, hindi mo naman na para i-drag pa sa ilalim ng kama mo. Like, just leave it there, and or whatever it is. But I don't know, I just find it weird. I mean, maybe it's not impossible, but I just find it weird. And then all the evidences are there too. Na, I don't know, I feel like it's him.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards the husband. What do you guys think? Who did it? Do you agree with our opinion? Let us know in the comments below. I feel like the ending was too cheery for the story we just told. But we're gonna go with it. Oh.
And that's it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Share your thoughts with us and let us know down in the comments below what stories you want us to feature next.
And if you want to hear more true crime, more mysteries, and more paranormal events that happen right here in the Philippines, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to us, and also turn on that notification bell icon below so you don't miss our next episodes.
Thanks for watching us.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye.